First out, questions about Erin O'Toole's leadership of the Conservative Party. A member of the party's National Council launched an online petition to replace him following Monday's election loss. We'll hear why in just a moment. Meanwhile, O'Toole says the party will launch a review of what went wrong in the campaign, but he ducked questions about his own future as leader.
I'm the leader of the party that founded this great country, and I'm very proud of that. I'm proud of the gains we made last night. For the first time in a decade back in Newfoundland and Labrador, some new members of our caucus from across the country, some new generation of talent, and we're closer in dozens upon dozens of ridings, but not close enough. I want to earn that trust of Canadians, and that's why we're going to work tirelessly to examine what went right, what went wrong.
Bert Chen is the Conservative who sits on the party's National Council and started this petition. He is in Victoria. Mr. Chen, why do you think Erin O'Toole should be recalled as leader?
Well, thanks for having me on. I represent the members of the Conservative Party who feel betrayed that Erin O'Toole ran just over a year ago as a true blue Conservative and immediately flip-flopped on policy stances that are the core principles of the Conservative Party, including fiscal responsibility in the recent election. And we see that his leadership failed, where the Conservatives are now down seats, and by every other metric compared to our results in 2019 is a failure. And if in 2019 our leader failed and resigned, then I would think that Mr. O'Toole should be held to the same standard.
Okay, and so just to be clear, I mean, are you saying that you disapprove of him changing between what he said during the leadership run compared to who he is as leader? Or is it the failure to win in this election and the decision to seemingly move to a more moderate position?
Well, by all metrics. So Conservatives believe in integrity and we believe in accountability. So integrity means keeping true to your beliefs and what you've communicated that you will run on, and not changing them halfway through an election or on a dime. In terms of accountability, I'm putting forward this petition because I want to start the referendum process to provide our members an opportunity to review Mr. O'Toole's leadership, and that can only happen sooner rather than later.
So the Conservative Party president, Rob Batherson, told us that there is a way to make sure members have their say, and he says that would happen at the first national convention following an election. That convention not set to happen yet for many, many months. But he also says that your petition is an online petition which is open to be influenced by Liberals or any other party. What is your response to that?
So the next convention is not scheduled for another 2 years. We just had ours, and I was reelected as a national councillor in March of this year. So in 2 years' time, according to Mr. O'Toole himself, we could be through another election, and we need to review his leadership for this election. In terms of in terms of the petition and how to move that forward, we're on uncharted waters for the Conservative Party. The Conservative Party's never had a poll referendum sent to our membership. And as a member of National Council, we oversee this process. And I look forward to pushing forward this process for our members.
When you say you want this to go before the members, is your position that Mr. O'Toole should no longer be the leader of the Conservative Party?
I represent the members of the Conservative Party, and the feedback that I have gotten over the past several months, and now further reinforced since Monday evening, is that Mr. O'Toole's failed as a leader.
How many people are behind this move right now?
Well, this petition has just been out for less than 24 hours, and it's gotten over 1,500 signatures by the last time I checked.
Okay, so the party has about 227,000 members, if memory serves me correctly. So that is, you know, I take your point that it's only a short period of time, but it's a small fragment of it. What do you think, you know, this is not a part of the normal process, but do you believe that that's where you're heading, that you will build enough support that essentially Mr. O'Toole would have to resign? Is that the position that you're heading towards?
To start a referendum process, it's spelled out in our Constitution. We require 5% of the membership in 5 provinces. That's the first threshold that's already spelled out. In terms of the process and otherwise, that remains to be seen, and I look forward to establishing that process in what's a new frontier for the Conservative Party.
Are you concerned that you may be pushing out a leader during a minority parliament under which there could be an election again in 12, 18, 24 months, and you would have a situation where you may have a brand new leader or potentially no leader at all? No full-time leader, nothing more than an acting leader.
That's why this process needs to happen as soon as possible to give us time to position ourselves for the election. That may come sooner rather than later.
Okay. If you believe, and I don't want to put words in your mouth here, if you believe that Mr. O'Toole shouldn't be there anymore as leader, would it be easier in your mind if he would just resign?
I think he's going to face caucus relatively soon. And this is also part of the process to speak to caucus, who represents the constituents who voted for them, to say, your constituents feel that Erin O'Toole failed, and the only decision for you to make is to review his leadership.
Okay, let me talk to you about strategy, because I think it is well established, some of the things that you're saying, that Erin O'Toole ran further to the right on the spectrum in a leadership campaign that many people expected Peter MacKay to win, and Mr. O'Toole ran to the right of that. And there were people who supported him who may have been surprised by the person who ran during the election campaign, because he sought, seemingly, a more moderate position on a number of issues. I know you have used words like betrayed. Is that fair in the sense of, is Mr. O'Toole simply trying to win government and looking for the way in which to capture the largest number of people in across the largest area to pick up more ridings?
I think Canadians want integrity, and part of integrity is someone who keeps their promises and is consistent in those promises. Conservatives have a higher standard for integrity. We're the party behind the Accountability Act and all these reforms. And conservatives feel that for a leader to change their positions, like what was done recently, requires a review of that leader.
Do you feel that you're acting on behalf of others in the party who have never really been behind Erin O'Toole, people who may come, for instance, from the Harper cabinet or Harper backroom folks?
Look, I represent all the members. My jurisdiction is Ontario, and regardless of who they support in the last leadership race or what part of our party they're from, the overwhelming response that I've gotten is that we need to review Erin O'Toole's leadership. Did
you support Erin O'Toole in the leadership race?
As national councillor, I had to be completely neutral in the leadership race last time, and I will have to be going forward. However, as a personal choice, yes, I did vote for Erin O'Toole.
And what do you feel about that vote now?
Obviously, I represent my members, and I personally also feel betrayed.
Okay. Bert Chen, thank you very much for speaking with us.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Vashi Capellos, host of Power in Politics. See more of our show by subscribing to the CBC News channel or click the link for another video.